Hi, Ophélie. Thank you for being here, Beyond the Line, which is the title that I chose for this particular series. And I'm really excited to talk to you about your career as a triathlete, but also your career as a PhD researcher.
Hi, Gemma. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I wanted to start from, I think, an aspect that really pops up looking at your Instagram feed, and it is that in every race, you are smiling. I think there is no photo that I've seen in which you are not smiling. You are not looking sad or preoccupied. You have a really big smile on your face. And this is actually very, very nice. And what I wanted to start with is that how do you put up this big smile every time and what racing actually means to you?
Uh, I've always had this smile because I love triathlon, and I think at my first Ironman, I smiled so much. Also, the same in Kona. That at the end, I think the muscle that was the most painful was my jaw muscle, definitely. But I mean, if you ask my dad or my boyfriend, when I pass them, I'm not always smiling. Then I'm like, if I'm in a difficult place, I will definitely show them, but I don't want to show other people because I also just I'm still here to enjoy it. So even in the difficult moments, I should still try to enjoy it. So yeah, that's why I'm always smiling. Also, just yeah, I'm lucky to do triathlon. I think also lucky that I have traveled the world doing triathlon, thanks to my dad. So yeah, that's also why I'm smiling because of everything I've done thanks to triathlon. So definitely that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this is very cool. And what is racing to you? I mean, participating in all these very big events.
I think racing to me is proving myself I can do it. I think it has always started there. Like I'm not very like I'm never happy with what I do, and I think triathlon is very challenging. And like completing an Ironman, I mean, it's difficult not to be proud of yourself. So it was trying to be proud of what I achieve. Trying to be in the moment because that's also something I have difficulties with. But I mean, an Ironman, it's so long, it's possible to be so somewhere in the race, like be in the moment. So I think that's nice. And um, yeah, it's just also the three sports together, you know, like I like swimming, I like biking, I like running, but I can never do them all three. I never do the transitions. I can only do it in a race, right? Like if you only run, you can just go all out for a 5K run around your house. But in triathlon, it's just we don't have that possibility. So, I mean, a race is very, very special. Like you don't do a lot in a year because for long distance, it's just not possible for your body. So I think every time you're on a start line, it's like, yeah, it's very, very special every time.
Yeah, it is. The this year 70.3 was my very first Ironman race, and I mean my first because last year I took part in the 5150, which was the Olympic distance, still organized by Ironman, but the 70.3 was different. And I remembered I actually cried at the starting line in the swim. I was like,
I'm still crying. I'm still crying at every start line. I mean, every time I'm on a start line, it's like everything, you know, all the training, everything you did for it, it just
Mhm.
you realize it like finally, like I did so much for this race and now I finally get to do it. And for me, it takes all the emotions. Like I don't cry at the finish line, but I always cry just before the start line.
That's awesome, actually. Yeah, because it's a journey, both the training, but also the whole race. It's so cool. Starting from your beginning, you I think not. I don't have any friend from from the years when I was a kid that actually got into triathlon. It wasn't a really common sport. It was either swimming, cycling, but I don't think I had cyclist friends at the time, or either running and track and field. What is very astonishing is that you actually started from a very young age, and you started with a full distance Ironman, which is really a lot. And I'm curious if I know that your dad has been a very huge influence and an inspiration to start your journey and also to continue your journey in triathlon. And I wanted to ask you why why starting from the Ironman for the distance, but also if in the past when you were younger, you maybe have had like a group of friends or a team to start with, or how did it come from?
Yeah, so how it started is my dad, for his 50th birthday, he wanted to do an Ironman. So that was actually his first triathlon. So he started from not being able to swim, didn't run in 20 years, to actually in 1 year doing a full Ironman. And 1 year later, he did Challenge Roth. And at the finish line, I ran with him across the finish line. And at that time, I was like 13, 14. And I said to myself, okay, like one day I'm going to do an Ironman. Not I'm going to do a triathlon, I'm going to do an Ironman. But then, I mean, life as a kid, I did all the sports. I did a lot of things. So it took me until I was 17. Then I really started triathlon. 16, 17 years old. But I did a couple of sprint distances because that's the only distance you can do before you're 18. And then on my 18th birthday, I did a Olympic distance, one. And then, 8 months later, I did an Ironman. That's true. But that was not supposed to happen, actually. So the problem with 70.3 races, you don't have them in Belgium. So
Oh,
the
really?
closest, now you have one. Now you have one.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not at the time. Not at the time. Yeah. So I had to go to France, but in France there is a rule saying you have to be 21 to do a half Ironman or a full. I didn't want to wait that long. And I was going to support my dad in Ironman South Africa. So everything was already booked. So he said, because like it's really cheap there. So it was the same price to do the Ironman than a 70.3 in Europe. And so he said to me, okay, do the swim and one loop of the bike, 90K, run a bit if you like it. Next year we can go to Mallorca to do the 70.3 together. But yeah, I was then there. I did the swim. First time in the ocean, was very exciting. And then I did 90K of the bike. But the problem is in South Africa, people are crazy and the supporters are really, really nice. So when you finish your first loop, I mean, everyone is shouting at you, And I was like, okay, I want to continue. But
Wow.
my longest ride ever was 90K. So in the beginning, I was really happy. But then when I hit like 120 kilometers, I was like completely done. I didn't have anything left in me. So I stopped, I rested, and then I started again. And then with the people like passing me, I was like, okay, I have to go back. I don't have a choice. So I finished 180K. Of course, I put my running shoes in my transition bag. So I just started running. The first 10K were amazing. But then again, I hit my longest run, which was 12K. And then it started to get difficult. But then I was like, I'm already here, right? Should I stop? Should I go? So I started to run, walk. And then my dad, who was also doing the race, of course, he already finished, even called my mom saying, do I have to stop her or do I let her continue? He
This
also
is amazing.
texted, he also texted his coach like, is it safe? And his coach was, yeah, at her age it's okay, like it is gonna be fine. She cannot push her body too far. I mean, if it's walking and running, it's okay. So yeah, it was a very, very long 15-hour Ironman, but I made it. And yeah, I think from there on, like my life changed. It was, yeah, Ironman came into my life, or triathlon came into my life. And yeah, it's been 10 years. So I still enjoy it. So yeah.
It's amazing because you were very young, but you have a huge perseverance at that age. Because, I mean, it's huge to complete the race at such a young age without having the preparation, but you had the mental toughness even at that time. That it's astonishing, actually.
I think that's why I like long distance and not short distance, because I think my strength is more like in the mental toughness. Like the longer the race is, I think the better I would be
Wow.
because it's like tougher. So yeah, but then again, for example, like a 70.3 for me, it's like it seems like really fast, and that's not really what I like. You know, like it's
Oh
difficult, but in
gosh.
another way. You know. Yeah,
It
compare
is
compare
true.
to an Ironman, huh? Compared to an Ironman, it's like super
It
short.
it is true because I mean it took me 7 hours and 20 minutes more or less because I had stomach aches from the start to the end. So I trained to finish it in 6 hours, which is still a long time. I know the fast athletes were flying Cervia like they were like like this. Um, but yeah, they are fast, and it is tricky because like when I did my marathon a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I mean, I did the 70.3, so comparing to just doing the marathon, it's and I'm not talking about paces and times, just the mental approach. I mean, I've done all those Ks between swimming, biking, and running. So just one running race, it is okay. I can do that. But like when I did the Rome Marathon in March, I didn't have this mindset because I thought, I mean, 42K, it's nuts. I'm not, it's crazy. Now it's more like, no, it's doable. Okay, not doing it fast, but just doing it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, yeah.
But
Like, mental
I,
toughness is really important, I think, in
mm,
triathlon, especially because you have those three sports. So, I mean, if one sport doesn't go well, it doesn't mean the other sports won't go
true,
well. So I
true.
think that's also something like that can really help you. Like for me in Kona this year, I was, yeah, sick the week before, not recovered for the race. And the swim went really well. The bike went really, really badly, but then the run went really, really well. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you have to stay positive, and you have to be able to just like flip a switch. Like once you do another sport, it's like it's a different day. It's a different, you get adrenaline again, and it could like totally change your race. So but then of course the bike is long, so for 5 6
yeah.
hours you have to still stay positive, like okay, this isn't going well, but I'm just doing my best and I hope the run is going to go better. And yeah, of course it's a long time to try to trick yourself. And but that's why I think like I really like Ironman, because I like this aspect to like, yeah, believe in yourself even when it's not going
Mm.
good. And I think it's a very good lesson also for everyday life. So that's also why I'm saying like triathlon is part of my life, because it just makes my life better.
It's true. You are right. Yeah, this is a really powerful words that then you understand when you are into the race what you can do or not cannot do because you are doing it unless you are really feeling unwell that
Yeah, no.
it's jeopardizing your overall health. But even if like your stomach ache, you are not feeling at your best, but you are pushing through. So it's a lesson for everyday life, as you
Yeah.
said. And it is really cool that you've basically have raced all over the world, because that was South Africa, but you went also in China 2 times, the
Yeah.
US, New Zealand, and a little bit all over Europe. How do you choose the races in all these places?
So in the beginning, I was racing with my dad, and so yeah, he wanted to race all over the world, so I just followed him.
Okay.
But yeah, quickly I was able to qualify for Kona, and he
Very
also.
quickly,
So
I must add.
yeah.
Very quickly.
uh, so then we actually tried to choose the races. Like, okay, if we want to do Kona in October, we have to race early in the year, or we have to race back directly after Kona. Racing in China was also very tactical.
Mhm.
Because at the time you could qualify for Kona on a 70.3 in China, because the a Chinese company bought Ironman, which is not the case anymore. Um, and so it was also always a rule with my dad when I was younger, because yeah, I started at 18 years old, that I can only do one Ironman a year. So that means, yeah, I had to try it. At that time, it was really nice that you could qualify on a 70.3, so I could do Kona every year. But yeah, now mostly I think, yeah, new destinations like New Zealand, it's always been my dream. And
Uh-huh.
so when I saw the 70.3 was there, yeah, it was my only goal. And it was not to perform at all. It was just to go to New Zealand. A very good
Yeah.
excuse to make a really great trip out of it.
This is cool. I mean, Ironman races, the format it's very similar from place to place. They are not different races per se, meaning the distance, transitions, etc. The elevation, hills, and course might be different. Also, swimming in the ocean, it's different from swimming in the Mediterranean Sea, for example. But aside from also the technical aspect about the how is it to travel in so many different places, and in terms of how do you think each one has also affected you with like with the memory of the race on a personal level also.
Yeah, I think like I've done 11 Ironmans now, and I've learned something in each of them. Like, um, I've learned something about the place I did it, or I learned something about myself, or I learned something about my great support crew. I mean, there's always a story coming out of it, and like each race, I can just like even maybe say one word about it, just because it was like such such a big deal at the time, and still actually like yeah, for example, South Africa. I mean, yeah, okay, it was my first Ironman, but it was just the people there were like crazy, and I was like
Uh-huh.
running into the night, and people were still on the course saying my name,
Wow.
continue to like every time. And I mean, that was just at that time I was like, whoa, people are like shouting to me, like this is crazy. I'm like, I'm not in the first person, like I'm pretty much at the end at that time.
Yeah.
Uh, so things like that, or like at one Ironman, I crashed on a bike, but that was the first Ironman in Europe, and my whole family was there to support me. There are like 15 people, and then I was just like, okay, I have to finish. I don't have any choice. Like I have to do it for them, and yeah, I mean, it's every time there is a different story, and it's always something positive coming out of it.
Mhm.
So I think that's the most important thing. Like, try to remember the good things. Like, okay, this time I did maybe a great time. That's great, but what did I experience? Did I have, yeah, maybe with another athlete, with your support crew, or even if something didn't go right, how did I like bounce back and things like that? I think yeah, you have in such a long race, you have to stay positive, but you also should remember the positive things for next race.
Yeah.
That's important.
And what's the best cheering crowd?
The best, woo! Oh, that's at first I would say my own cheering squad. They're amazing.
Obviously. Yeah.
They're always there and they're
Yeah.
really, really amazing. Um, I think South Africa was really, really nice. Like everyone was doing barbecues in front of their house
Wow.
and cheering for you. And like they were with like megaphones and shouting your name. That was really, really crazy. Then I also did the Klagenfurt, Ironman Klagenfurt in Austria. And actually it was raining.
Uh-huh.
And people were still outside. Like there was
Wow.
like a lot of people. Like I know from other years there were more people, but I mean, the people were just in the rain all day long cheering for us, like
That's
DJs everywhere.
amazing.
And yeah, it was really, really cool. So I think those two will definitely be the best for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And as you said, you were doing one Ironman per year, and I noticed that the maybe last year you did three races in total, but you do not overdo a lot of Ironman races throughout the year. I've seen other people and other athletes doing lots of races, even like with a short span in between.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm not an expert, I'm not a physio or something, but uh, I don't think it's too much advisable doing all these really demanding races because especially an Ironman it's very long as you said. And how do you balance I think on the one hand the kind of excitement of oh yes I want to do another race, but also being mindful and saying I also had to take care of my body in terms of longevity and being able to do this sport in the long run.
Yeah. So yeah, I first think like if you ask your doctor, he's all or like any specialist, they're always gonna say like max 2 marathons a year, which means max 2 Ironmans a year. I mean, like even the pros, they don't. Before they did maybe 3 Ironmans, but even now, if you look at them, they only do two. And I think, yeah, that's all your body can do. Like you don't push it. Like I mean, injuries, everyone has them, and you don't want any more. I mean, it's so annoying. And I think yeah, if you start putting 70.3s in there, it's great, but 70.3s, I mean, it's hard. You know, you have to. For me, it's a really really hard effort. Like an Ironman, it's not easy, but it should be like a zone 2, very low zone 3 effort. But a 70.3, it's high
It's
zone
higher.
3 into zone 4. So I mean, recovering from that, I think it's much more difficult. Not in terms of it takes longer, but in terms of a 70.3, you put it like a month before your Ironman or in between two Ironmans. And I mean, you have to start training again after a few days. Like after an Ironman, you just stop. I mean, you have to let your body recover, and you know, okay, the next 2 weeks I'm not going to do anything. And with a 70.3, if you're doing it between Ironmans, it's not the case. So it's really hard on your system. It's good because it gives you speed, so that's great. But I'm also not like I'm not a racer. Like races give me stress still. So I mean, if I just do 2 Ironman, it's perfect for me. Or like 2 Ironman and a 70.3, that's great. I won't put like Olympic distance or sprint distances. I think I should, to be honest, have
Mm-hmm.
some smaller, faster races, but I just don't enjoy them as much. Like
Okay.
I like having this big build up and being like, okay, I'm working towards this goal. I have time. Let's do it in a good way. And like
Okay.
putting some sprints and things in between them. I'm not gonna be able to perform on them like if I was training for them. So yeah, I don't enjoy it as much. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
2 Ironman is like or like 2 marathons. If you do a marathon, then only do one Ironman, because it's just not good for your body. I mean, your
Yeah.
body cannot tolerate it. So
And what do
yeah.
you think it's the common mistake with people that are approaching this sport and actually would like to do more and more races?
I think I would still advise just one Ironman. I mean, it's a 6 month build-up. I mean, it takes you half a year. So you have to make a lot of sacrifices. I mean, in the last
Yeah.
2 months, you don't have time for anything else than to train.
Mm.
So do you really want to do this all year long? Yeah, it's for you to decide. But I think 6 months in 1 year is already like a long
A
time.
lot. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I mean, it's a sport that it really takes over your entire life because you have to compromise also the time with your family, your friends, but also like with work and other things that you have in life. And yeah, you can if you like, you can do that, I think. But I think also one of the setbacks can be also being burned out by something that should be something that brings you joy and willingness to be active and experience new things, probably.
yeah, it is totally. I had like a small burnout 2 years ago when I was like,
Mm.
okay, this build up to Kona, it was 6 months and it was just too much for me. I did a great race, so that was nice. But
Wow.
yeah, after that, I didn't want to train anymore. I didn't enjoy it. So I just stopped any structured training until I liked it again. And really, like last year, I really enjoyed training a lot again. Um, and I think it's also the only way to do this, right? I mean, you're not going to sacrifice everything if you don't like it. So
Yeah.
yeah, you should be careful. And if you get a burnout from the sport, then like let it go for a while. I mean,
Mm.
we still have a long life, right? We don't have to do
Yeah.
anything at this moment right now, even if I'm the first person who would say I want to do it now. I don't want to wait. But yeah, let your body recover, let your mind recover. I think, yeah, that's the most
Mhm.
important thing.
And talking about this year's race in Kona, I wanted to ask you two things. First, I know reading your post that you were coming from kind of a tough year with some illness and not really great year, but you actually pulled off a great race to me. And also the day itself was very tough because we have seen from the live that also elite athletes struggled with the race. So I wanted to ask you, how was this year in Kona? And also, you've I mean, I think that it's basically your second home because you've been there so many times basically in the last few years. And I'm curious to know how how did you see the race changing over the years for yourself and in general as the Kona World Championship event?
Yeah, so for the first question, I think, wait, can you repeat the first question?
How did
I'm lost.
yeah, sorry.
I'm lost in my
I
own thoughts. I'm sorry.
don't worry. I wanted to know how this year went despite the difficulties you had throughout the year and the toughness of the race day itself.
So first, the conditions. I mean, Kona is always going to be tough. Like it's
Mhm.
never going to change. For me, I think the difference with this year is it wasn't that hot on the run. Um, like I think a lot of people like did overheat on the bike, but once we were on the run, it was still hot. I mean, you have 8 station every 1.5K, and
Wow.
you're like it's difficult to get from one to the other. Huh? That's still Kona. It's still super, super hot. But if I compare it to 4 years ago, I mean, it's not as like then the heat was like killing you. Now I can like, okay, I'm also a better athlete, but I don't die during the run. Like I can run a marathon, like racing it. And I don't think in the heat of like a few years ago, I could have done it. Like the heat was really destroying you. On the bike, it was, I had some problems with the heat. So it was definitely hot because the sun is very hot. Yeah, the wind, but I mean, it's always wind in Kona. I just had 1 year with no wind, and that was a great year.
Wow.
But then it was very hot on the run because there was no wind. So, I mean, it's always a compromise.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think for me, the bike was just, I didn't have the legs on that day. So it was definitely a difficult bike. I've had worst winds. So I wouldn't say it was the most difficult race. But yeah, I mean, Kona is always so difficult. Like it really is. But this year I really want, yeah, I was in the beginning of the year, I had big goals. And then, yeah, coming into Kona, I knew these goals were gone. Still has small goals in my mind, but then with being sick, I was like, okay, we're just gonna try our best. So like I said, the swim was awesome. Like I had a really good swim, even if it wasn't an easy swim. That's true. It wasn't easy, but it was mostly just us going up and down and up and down. Like there was a bit of current, but it wasn't difficult to swim, let's say. You didn't go
Okay.
really fast, but it wasn't difficult to swim. Your body was just going like this. It was not choppy.
Okay.
You didn't get water in your head. So it wasn't difficult to swim. It was just not a fast swim. And then on the bike, yeah, I was pushing 30 watts less than my plan. So yeah, very difficult in the beginning. And then I just accepted it and keep pushing. There wasn't some strong side winds, so that was really great because that's sometimes scary in Kona.
Yeah.
But the headwind was Kona. I mean, you have to train mentally for it. You know it's there. It's coming back to town. So yeah, the second part of the bike, that's already the most difficult one, and then you have this headwind. So you just have to prepare mentally. Again, I think it's 100% mental. And then the run, yeah, again, I mean, I had a great run. I didn't push it because I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel. So I think maybe I could have gone a bit faster, but yeah, I felt good on the run and it wasn't that hot compared to other years. Still
Wow.
still the hottest race compared to any other race, definitely. But yeah, I love the run there. So I will always love the run. Like after 2K, I'm like, oh, still 40 to go. And I'm like in a little party, So I love it. So yeah, I think a good year, to be honest, for the race. Not easy, but not the most difficult one. But still difficult. I mean, Kona is just a
Yeah.
different beast. Like you can, I would say I can prepare for it, but I mean, if it's your first, second, third, fourth time, like you can still not
You
prepare for
can.
it. Like it's too difficult. Like it's just like everything can be difficult. Like the swim can be difficult, the bike is
Yeah.
super tough, and the run is super tough. And I think now that I've done it 5 times, I'm mastering it for the
Wow.
toughness. So I'm at the start of the race, I'm not scared anymore. I know it's going to be a tough day, but I know I can do it. But it took me the 4 years before, it didn't come
Wow.
like after 1 year. So it's just a really tough race. And yeah, how did the race change over the years? So I've done it with my father 2 times, and then it changed to women only. So for me, yeah, I
Okay.
didn't like it, of course, because I want
Uh-huh.
to race with my dad. So that wasn't great for me. I think everything from organization wise, it's still a good race. This year there were some cars on the course, was not that nice,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, it was a bit weird. Like we had some cars on the course, but it was okay. I mean, it was just a couple of them. But for the rest, it's a really good organization. Everything is great. They didn't cut half the aid station this year, so I was very happy because they did that. They did that 2 years ago, and that was not nice, or 3 years
I
ago, and
bet.
that was really horrible because they also didn't say it, but I heard it from some friends in the organization. So I had like all my water bottles, and now the first thing I say to everyone asking for advice, take your water bottles. I mean, you never know. And in between the aid station, you're gonna be thirsty. So always water bottles in Kona for the run, definitely. But actually, like 2 years ago was the first woman only race. I actually liked it. I thought I would not like it, but it was nice because so we started last our age group. So yeah, I passed everybody on the bike, which normally is the opposite because I'm with the first swimmers and then all the men pass me on the bike. But then on the run, I was like at the front, and then women, they run really well compared to men. Sorry, but it's like that. And on average, of course. So yeah, on the run, then you're a bit alone because everyone is running at the same pace, but they're in front or behind you, so there's not a lot of passing. Which then, when you have the men, you pass a lot of men. So it's a bit. There's good parts and less good part, but it was nice to be at the front of the race. I mean, I've never had that. So like, I think I finished 80th of all the women. And of course, because I started last, there were more women in front of me, but still it felt like there was not that much people in front of me, which I think it's a nice feeling. Like, we don't have that.
It's a huge
when we
feeling.
race. Yeah, we don't have it when we race with men. It was nice, but I'm looking forward to next year to qualify again with my dad, of course. So
that would be great because I mean, you have this we're gonna be a question, but I'm gonna ask it now since we are on topic. It's really great seeing from your post the huge support you have from your family. Because yes, it's a family matter. Basically, competing in Ironman events, you are doing it with your dad. You are doing that with your boyfriend, and I think it's really nice because people outside from the sport or that have never been passionate about doing sports sometimes do not understand why you are devoting so many hours of your day to training, to like getting right all the aspects of the training, planning for the race, but also the energy that comes from approaching race day, setting up all your gear, and like the butterflies that you have on race day. And it's really great to see that you have your family that it's so supporting you in your career as an athlete.
I think it's also like a bit of my secret superpower. Like, I always have like, or I'm racing my dad, or my boyfriend did also one Ironman. But like in training, I mean, I train with my boyfriend or with my dad. And then, my mom is always there to support us. And like the week before the race, when I have to have a strict diet and a lot of carb loading, then she makes me like food every morning, every time at lunch, every evening. And she's like really on top of it and really serious about it.
Making sure that you are eating right.
Exactly. And then I always have problems with my bike before the race. It's always the same with the plane. And then I have my dad and my boyfriend who just tell me, sit down, we're going to fix it. And then they go everywhere to try to fix my bike. I mean, it's just like, I think everyone is living it, like, I know like before the race, like the week before the race, sometimes you can be very stressed and it's a bit difficult to be also with other people. But I mean, they're just there to calm me. And I mean, during the race, I've also already like supported my dad during this race. I mean, you live the race with them, right? So I also love to support. Like I maybe sometimes I love it more. I don't know, but it's just like yeah, it's living something together and sharing something together, which is
Mm.
really special. Like, because you know how much time you put in, you know how much effort your support group puts in, and then it all comes together. Not meaning you had a great race, but just, I mean, you're doing it. You're doing the Ironman, which is already really good, and like I don't know, like everyone is happy
Yeah.
or like content of like hitting this goal of after 6 months of hard work, like doing it. And I think, yeah, it's something very special. You cannot share in like daily life. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it
a
is
special
true.
feeling.
Yeah. And have you ever joined a team?
Um, Not really. Like in the beginning, yes, but it was never close to home, so it was not really for yeah, it was a bit difficult to train with them. And
Yeah.
then I switched directly to long distance. I directly had a coach, and yeah, it's pretty specific programs.
Yes.
And it was also just easy. I mean, it's easy to do your training on the home trainer or just take your bike whenever you can. Also, like as a student, I mean, nothing was fixed. I didn't have, so it was just like, okay,
Exactly.
now I go for a bike ride or something like that.
Yes.
So it was just always easier. And also, I always had like my dad or my boyfriend to do trainings
Yeah.
with. Like,
So you actually had
so
a team.
yeah, a small team, but a very nice team.
Yeah. And speaking about trainings, what a very nice aspect. It's a kind of motto, maybe for you, train like a researcher, meaning, I mean, you are data driven, but also very get precise on what you are doing. Because I think one aspect when you are doing research, especially one aspect that I think that can be transferred from like your PhD life is approaching also your training in a certain way, doing a sort of trial and error and seeing what is working, what it's not, and not just being not methodical with the trainings. And in all these years, like now, how do you approach training? How it has been changed over the years, and also what's your take on like AI training and platforms that can create a plan for you, even just using Chat GPT or Gemini, for example.
Yeah, so I've had a coach for 8 years. It was the same coach, and yeah, we did great things together. And I think I needed it mostly because, yeah, as a student, I mean, I didn't have any schedule. So, like, just to motivate myself to go training,
Hmm.
like I really needed that. I also think yeah, I learned a lot of good trainings, of, yeah, good approaches to races. But then, yeah, last year I decided to train myself.
Oh,
And yeah, I use ChatGPT, but I mean, I know already a lot, like I have 8 years of experience, not as a coach, but as an athlete. So everything that ChatGPT tells me, I mean, I don't believe it. Like, I always ask for reference, and I also put my own things in it. Like, okay, today I cannot do that. Give me another, something easier, or this didn't feel right. Let's try to remix it. And I think training wise, I didn't have a lot of training for Kona. I think I had like 3 months, but yeah, I was 3 times sick in these 3 months. So it wasn't ideal. And I think with the training I did, like I did a good race. Like I think I
hmm.
performed well. Um, but one aspect that I didn't take into account is like my stress. Like I had a lot of stress
Mm.
from work, a lot of stress, yeah, a bit of stress at home, and a lot of stress because I was sick all the time and I couldn't train. And then, yeah, you get
Of
into
course.
a vicious cycle. And so I kept training hard. And actually, I mean, the stress just made me sick every time. So this year, like, I'm trying to approach it totally differently and putting first my mental health, trying, like, I cannot train if I'm stressed. I mean, it's just not gonna, first, it's not gonna help. I'm not gonna get better. And then I get a really big chance to get sick. So for that, I mean, I have also a lot of experience myself, but I also try to read some papers and things like that. I ask also ChatGPT, but with references, of course. But I think, like, last year, I really enjoyed training because also I had something to say about the trainings, I think. And I was, like, really motivated because I got also a bit of insight to why I needed to do this training. Like, okay, tomorrow you have to do a really hard training. And then I could keep asking, okay, why do I have to do this? Like, what's the goal? And I think knowing why you do it also helps, especially after 10 years. Like, in the beginning, I was just like, okay, let's go. I don't think about it and I just do it. I trust my coach. But now I want to know a bit more about it and about, okay, what should I do, like, in the beginning of season, middle of season, end of the season? Just, I'm interested in all that. So yeah, let's see what it gives this year.
I think it's like the researcher approach, like in asking questions and see where you are going with these questions, and you can apply this to your training.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I just want to know, like, everything. I know you cannot know everything, but I'm just
Yeah.
curious all the time. And yeah, I think it's also motivation, like, if you know why you're doing it, I mean, it
Yes.
motivates you much more. Or like, okay, I'm doing this to get better in that, and then actually having to test it at the end of the month or something like that. I mean, I like it. Like, it's a new approach, but I think it's gonna be a good year.
And speaking about your career outside triathlon, I saw on your LinkedIn, because I stalked you a bit on LinkedIn also, that you started as a mechanical engineer with a bachelor, then you moved to biomedical engineering, and then your PhD is connected to neuroscience. And I think this is a very interesting path. It is also very organic how you developed it through the years, and I'm obviously, because I've finished my PhD this year, so I'm curious about how why PhD, because I think a lot of people have quite a lot of bias towards PhD. Some thinks that it's just an extension of just going to university and studying, but it's not actually. It's quite a lot of work, and obviously each university and country has a very different system. For example, in Italy, it's just 4 years, and it's really packed with things. So when you have to do like teachings and also writing papers and writing your own thesis, 4 years are not enough. So how do you get into like the PhD, and also how are you managing everything? Because when you are a researcher, you are also kind of a project manager for yourself.
Yeah. So how did I get into PhD? Actually, it started, like, coming out of high school. I didn't know if I wanted
Wow.
to do. No, I didn't know about the
Ah,
PhD yet,
okay.
but but I also didn't know, do I want to become an engineer or do I want to become a doctor? So
Okay.
I didn't know about the two, and then I choose the engineer because, yeah, for us in Belgium it's called civil engineering, and so it's very broad. It goes
Yeah, because
into.
in Italy, it's like civil engineer. I think people think about construction and stuff. So at first, I was like, what? what, from like CV to this? So I was like taken a little bit aback, but now I understand.
Yeah, but in Belgium they also think we just make buildings and bridges, mostly bridges. But it's not true. It's
Okay.
like very, very, very broad. And so
Okay.
if you have this diploma, like you can get in anywhere you want. Like you can go into economics, you can go into
Okay.
biomedical stuff. It's very nice to have it as a diploma. So I went into that, and my master was still civil engineering, but the master biomedical technologies. So that was already a bit more
Oh.
focused on medicine, what I was also wanted because I didn't know what to do. And then actually, at the end of the year, I didn't know, like a company was interested in me. So I would have been happy to start there, but I didn't really know. And so my father said, okay, just look at the PhD openings. And then actually the opening, it was for a brain computer interface. So to make paralyzed people like more independent, for example, like to move their wheelchair with their
Yeah.
just using their thoughts.
Yeah,
And I mean that
I looked up your paper that you published recently too. I've done my research.
nice. But actually, this project is why I wanted to do engineering and why I wanted to do medicine. I want to like try to make the world better by helping people who don't have it that easy, you know, and like being
Yeah.
paralyzed, like as a sports person. I mean, I can imagine it's very, very difficult. Like, I mean, I use sports also to unwind and to de-stress, and these people, they cannot even use that. So, and they have a much more difficult life. So yeah, when I saw that, it was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do, like with my life, like helping people in that way. So it was a dream PhD project and also the dream job. If I can do this for the rest of my life, I will be super happy in an
I bet.
industry or in research. Like it doesn't matter. I just want to make it happen, you know? So yeah, I really like it. And yeah, how I manage it, everything. Yeah, like you said, like when you do sports, you're already also, yeah, you make a lot of sacrifices, but your work will also, it will also affect your work. I mean, it cannot do, I mean, the last weeks before an Ironman, you're training 15, 18, 20, it depends, but it's like a lot of hours. And at that time, I'm tired at my desk. I mean, I have to
Yeah.
admit it. It's like at that time I cannot work efficiently. But what is nice in a PhD is, I mean, you then work a bit more at another time, so it's easier to compensate. Also, what is nice is I can like work at home half of the time. So it's also nice to be able to, you know, go for a training ride of 1 hour
Yeah.
during lunch or for a lunch run. So that really helps. And yeah, I think it's difficult to manage, but I think there are people who have it even more difficult. I mean, if you have kids, I cannot even imagine training for an
Yeah.
Ironman when you have kids. So I
Sorry,
think
my
I
camera
manage okay.
my camera stopped
No
for a
worry.
bit. Sorry.
um, but yeah, I think it's nice. Like it just for now it fits my life. I like
Yeah.
it. I like doing research. I like doing sports. But I already starting to see like, for example, now I'm starting a lot of collaboration with other universities that want to use my brain computer interface. And so I'm gonna go to Canada and to Sweden and things like
Oh,
that.
that's
And
cool.
it's all really exciting, but this is gonna be more difficult to then,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, train for an Ironman because yeah, if you're gone 1 week, then you have a jet lag 1 week. It's
Yes.
just really tiring, and it's not, yeah, in an Ironman preparation, it's not great. Like I'm gonna do it, but it's not
It's
perfect.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a lot of things like in my life starting to change, and actually, normally I said after Kona I would stop long distance
Yeah,
to
I read that.
have other things in my life. Yeah,
Mhm.
but then I was very disappointed with my race just because I knew could do more. Also had some references from like other athletes I know, and yeah, it was difficult. Like after the race, I really had difficulties.
Because you know
So
your potential, so you know
yeah,
what can you express.
yeah, I think that in one way that, but the other thing is I just couldn't give it my all. Like 2 years ago
Mhm.
in Kona, I give everything. Like I was super happy that I actually at that point I said this is my last time because I had the perfect race. I mean, it cannot be better. But then I had a friend who did the other 3 Konas with me and not the one of 2 years ago. She was like, "Oh, I really want to do another one together with you." And that's when we came to Italy and qualified again. um, so yeah, I just feel like I just couldn't give my all, and I just want to give my all. Like
It
it,
makes
I
sense.
don't care about the results, but I just want to give it my all last
Yeah.
time. If I can do it with my dad also racing, I mean, even better. But it just feels like a story that didn't have a happy ending, and I just
Hmm.
want a happy ending
Yes.
for now before I move on to the next phase. And
Yeah.
maybe I come back later or I do shorter distances, but
Hmm.
yeah, Ironman takes a lot of time, and now I still have it, but I'm starting to feel like it's gonna be less and less. So I know that it's gonna be a bit less in the coming years. Next year is still full gas, but then maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, I mean, I think every phase in life has its characteristics, and maybe for a really long time you have devoted yourself to the sport because you had time to do that, and sometimes, I mean, life takes you another path. Like you said, you are starting possible collaborations with other universities, so it's gonna be tough, and that's normal. That's life. But
Yeah.
I was curious. Do you think? Do you ever think of like from your PhD to work in the sport field? For example, with athletes that are doing like the like Paralympics or
Yeah.
races like this.
Yes, I think everything from prosthesis has always really
Yeah,
interested me.
yeah.
But
Sorry, I
like,
forgot the word, and I was circling around with my brain. Yes, that one.
yeah, I think it's very interesting, but I think it's like it's mostly now and it's purely mechanical.
Mhm,
And I think like in the field I'm now, I mean, it's more like, yeah, I'm trying to make people walk again or be more independent.
mhm,
And for now, I feel like this is more what I want to do, like a field that is very new and not a lot of things are understood. And I'm always trying to find a challenge. So I think for now, I want to stay in that really
yeah.
difficult field or new field and stay challenged.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that I cannot go to that later on. I think
Mhm.
it's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Obviously.
But then I think I will be very interesting in everything that is related to exoskeletons and things like
Yeah.
that. So that's definitely on my mind. But for now, I love my field. So I think I'm going to stay in it for a couple of more years.
Yeah, that's a really cool field because, for example, this year I've been in Linz in Austria to Arte Electronica, which is a festival about art, technology, and new media art. But there were a lot of projects also that were artist based but made in collaborations with scientists and labs that were dealing with prosthetics and other ways to make life more accessible. So that was actually really cool to see, because you could see projects through different, there was the more scientific one, but also a more artistic ones. And I mean, the beauty of doing research and being into this field is seeing also how different fields can connect to each other, and working with people that comes from different backgrounds that are not just scientific or are not just from the humanities as well.
Yeah, I think that's definitely it. For me, it's already a difference because I'm like an engineer coming in a neuroscience lab. It's already like, yeah, very, very different, and it's very nice. But for example, if we want to talk about the more artistic side, I just went to a conference in the US, and you had actually a totally paralyzed patient that actually made music with his mind.
Wow, that's
So
fantastic.
yeah, he had a whole song made, so it was very cool.
Wow.
And actually, before he had his accident, he was in a band, so he really enjoyed it. And
Wow.
so now he still can sing, but yeah, he cannot play an instrument anymore. And so yeah, they made an application for him to make music, which I think it's awesome. I mean, for him it must be like life
Yeah.
changing. So.
Yeah, exactly. And this is some kind of a geek question. I saw on your LinkedIn that you can use Unity also, and I looked at your paper, and my question was, did you design in Unity the brain interface?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it was very fun to make a monkey walk in a forest.
Yeah, because I learned Unity in Italy. University is like 3 years of your bachelor, and then you have a master, which is different from what we call a master, because it's like 2 years specialization in your field. And in between
Mhm.
those two, I did a master in game design, and actually we
Oh,
used Unity. So I
nice.
was like, oh, I'm gonna ask her if she developed the interface.
Yeah, my Unity skills are very basic. Yeah, I do my
Yeah,
best, but
mine
I had
too.
to
Don't
learn it really
worry.
quickly. So,
But it's
but
cool,
yeah,
right?
seeing yeah, especially when you see the monkey actually using his brain signal to make
Uh-huh.
a monkey move in a
Wow.
forest in VR. I mean, it's really cool.
No. And did you learn also C sharp as well for Unity to program
Yeah,
the interface?
yeah, I think I can program like in Python, MATLAB, everything
In Python.
that I
Okay.
yeah, I can do that. So for me, C sharp was more like looking up the functions.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, YouTube was my best friend and is still my best
It
friend.
is.
So
It is. Yeah.
I learned a lot.
That and GitHub are like the
Yeah,
lifesaver.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
Um, I wanted to ask you something, because one of the things that really stands out about yourself is how mature you are towards how you mentally approach the race and the trainings. And I read some interviews that you have done some years ago when you were still young, but uh, it's really impressive how your thinking process was very mature. And I actually copied a quote from you, and it said that you have to be proud of every step you take towards your personal goal, and that especially at the start line, the only thing that matters is to keep your head high, give your best, and be proud and enjoy it. And the result, it's a bonus. It's something that comes after. And as someone that it's really struggling with the performance itself, because I've always been like my worth it's tied to performing in a certain way in university, at work, the PhD, And also it is reflecting in the races, especially with the running part of it, to be honest. I think that your mindset, it is very empowering, but it's not also easy to build up over the years. Like, I am 33 now and I'm still struggling to be proud of myself in general. But with you, I mean, you are very young. So my question here is, how did you develop this behavior towards being proud of yourself in races? Because I'm seeing that even if talking about your last race, you were not happy with the result, but there is a proudness that it's coming off, and that it's really important, especially today, where a lot of people are really showing off results left and right, and are more showing like numbers instead of showing the whole experience and the joy of being able to do it is an Ironman, and high rocks, a marathon, swimming, like a really long distance, whatever it is that you are passionate about.
Yeah, so first of all, I also have it's also very difficult for me to be proud of myself. I think
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm exactly like you, like I've set the bar
mm,
always like way too
I,
high.
yeah,
And even if it's way too high and I get there, I'm still like, no, I have to be even higher. Like,
yeah,
so I think that's still something I struggle with, being proud of myself, being proud of my race, like especially this time after Kona. Like, it's not that I wasn't proud, but yeah, I was not happy with my race. And then I'm lucky to have my supporters that are there to remind me that I did a great race in the circumstances, and I should be proud of myself and happy. But I think the one thing that's really changed is I really don't compare myself to other people. Like before, I was always like, oh, this person is doing this, and maybe I should also do this to be, and then I'm going to be more proud of myself because I did this. And I think that's like gone for most parts. So I mean, if I see someone doing a sub 3 hour marathon on Instagram, it's not like before I was like, I need to do a sub 3 hour marathon,
mm,
otherwise I'm not worth it, or I don't know. But I'm not like that anymore. I think
wow,
that's like a very big change. It was very
yes,
difficult. It took a long time. But what I really still want to change is being more proud of myself. Like I really try. And I think it's just the small things. It's just like after a training, I'm like, good job. Even if it was like an easy run. I mean, you got out of the couch, you did it. Be proud of yourself. You're feeling better. Like, I don't know, this positivity. Like, I've always been not a negative person, but a critical person. And
hmm,
my boyfriend, he hates negativity. And I think that's a really good thing I learned about him is see all the positive things
yeah,
about everything. And sometimes now I even say to him, why are you so negative? So it really like changed. Like I want only to see positive things. Of course, you can learn for negative things, but you shouldn't remember the negative. You should remember the positive and the lessons learned, but don't like
yeah,
why would you keep in your mind the negative things? Like, and this is still very difficult, but
it is,
yeah, I think just like why I cry before the race is because I'm already proud. Like it doesn't matter. Like I mean, I did it already. I'm here. I did the training. I did everything I could, and even if the race doesn't go well, I mean, for me, I already did it. So I think
yeah,
that's a really big change. Like before, it was always like wanting more and more and more. And I think I don't like it anymore. Like, for example, before an Ironman, it was surviving. I mean, getting to the end. That was always the case. Now it's like doing an Ironman. I mean, I know I can do it. I'm not afraid of it. And now it's just getting faster. And
nice,
I think I think I don't like that anymore. That's also why I want to do something else, or maybe do some extreme Ironman things,
Yeah.
just because I like the challenge. And for me, going faster is not the challenge I want. I mean, I want the mental challenge. And now
Okay.
I'm getting in a phase when it's the physical challenge, is trying to train more, but train more means getting more injured and means being on the sideline more often. And that's actually what I don't like about it. I just like, okay, let's do something really hard, prove myself I can do it, be proud of yourself. And I think that's a bit gone now. Like, it's not racing Ironman, it's not that for me anymore. It's just, let's be faster, which is also very cool, but it's just not what
It's
I'm
not
searching
you.
for.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it comes also off of your feed on Instagram because you are not showing off your results. Like you have been to Kona so many times, but you are not flaunting it. Like you are very humble, and I think this is great because also it is possible to see that you are open also for other athletes to ask you questions and like creating like a positive space for conversation and not just being I'm so cool because I've been to the world championships so many times. It's this is a really great characteristic about yourself. And I was wondering if, since you are also, because on your page you are inviting people also to ask questions, tips, or other things about the triathlon world. Um, what is, if there is, like the common thing that you have been asked by people that are starting, or like if you are seeing some common trends, both positive and negative, with people that are starting out?
Yeah, so I think the first thing people ask is how how can I finish the swim of an Ironman?
I think this swim is the worst part of all for
I think
a lot of people.
for
I come
everyone,
from,
huh?
yeah, I come from swimming, so to me that's the
Ah,
part
that's
that I
nice.
actually like. That's the rant that I read.
No, I think, yeah, a lot of people are afraid to do triathlon because of the swim. Or like for my boyfriend, like he did one Ironman and then he was like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. Not because he
Okay,
didn't enjoy it, but because he doesn't enjoy swimming.
okay,
Because yeah, it's difficult, it's a technical sport, and
yeah,
you don't get better if your technique doesn't get better, and getting your technique
yes,
better,
yes,
it's difficult. I mean, even for me, like I'm not a swimmer, but I had some swim lessons when I was a child, so like my technique is a bit okay, but still, like now, I mean, I don't swim a lot anymore just because the next step I have to change something in my technique, but it's just so difficult to learn something new when you've learned it the wrong way. And
yeah,
it's
and
just like
also,
for the 1 or 2
yeah,
minutes you're gonna win. I mean, let's bike more, right? I'm gonna
yeah,
win it there.
yeah,
So yeah, I think this swim is something like it's really difficult, but it's just, I mean, it's difficult for everyone, like you said. So it shouldn't stop you. But I understand that like it's a lot of effort. Like, okay, for the bike, it's even more effort. I mean, you have to train more, but yeah, I think it's less frustrating because you see more yourself advancing, becoming better, it being, and especially just it being more easy. And I think the swim, yeah, it's never gonna be more easy if your technique is not good, or even if your technique is good, right? If you want to get faster, I mean, so I think that's the thing that people have some problems with. Like, it's just all the time difficult. But I think, yeah, just having like taking some private lessons and just having someone look at your style from time to time, I think that's the best way to go. Um, and it shouldn't stop you because triathlon is amazing and you should do it, but
yeah,
it's also not long, right? It's really really small part of the race.
yeah, it
um,
is.
just yeah, I think the most important thing is it should be easy. Like it should always be easy to swim. So just get your technique at the
Right.
point that the swim is easy, and then it's fine. I mean, you should keep your energy for the bike and the run, definitely. So just get your technique somewhere where you can survive the 3.8K swim, and that it feels easy, that it's not a struggle, because I understand that if it's a struggle, it's not nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's the
The
one question I
common
get the
question.
most.
How to swim. No, yeah, and I think also swimming in the sea for a lot of people it's a little bit frightening than swimming in the pool. And I live pretty near the sea, and I was used to swimming in the sea. So and also not seeing the bottom of the
Ah, yeah.
like the sand that beneath you. And I think that is also another psychological thing that can impact your swimming, because you are not really seeing. And like in Cervia, the water it's kind of green. You have seen that it's not
Yeah,
crystal
yeah, yeah.
clear. So you
No, you
can
don't see
really
anything.
exactly. So I think if you are not used to swimming, especially since as a kid in this kind of water, it can be tricky to learn as an adult,
Yeah, it
especially.
is. Yeah, I think open water swimming, it's very important. Like uh,
Mm.
in Belgium, it's very difficult to find a place where you can do it. So
Uh-huh.
for me, it's always like the struggle. And but if you can, like on every holiday or on every training camp, like only swim in the sea or in the lake, or
Yeah,
like it's so important to do it. And also that if you're used to it, like it's gonna be less scary, like you say, but also it's gonna be easier because yeah, it's not the same in a pool. Every 25 meters you have a break. Your muscles don't have a break when you swim in open water. So for me, that's always
no.
been like I didn't like the swim because my arms were just painful the whole swim. And now
Mhm.
this year I did like a lot of open water swimming. I went on a bit more training camps, and now the swim was really nice just
Different. Yeah,
because my muscles were used to it. And in the
yeah,
beginning it's like the first 20 minutes straight, I mean it feels horrible, but then you do it again and again and again, and then 1 hour feels
yeah.
like nothing.
Obviously,
So
yeah,
yeah, trying to do some open water swimming, and not like I did before, just 2 days before the race one time and then that's it.
yeah. That is
That's not,
true.
yeah, that's not the best idea. So yeah, getting used to it. It's I think it's also the same with transitions. Like
Yeah,
I'm good at transition, but it's also just I've done it a lot and I'm really practical. So for me, it's like I'm
I
efficient and
suck.
practical.
I suck at
So,
transition.
but it's also just like if you know exactly what to do,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it
is
goes very
true.
fast, like
Mm.
in the last 300 meters of the swim, I'm in my head, I'm saying, okay, first thing, wetsuit off, second thing, this, third
Mm.
thing, this. And then when
Okay,
I arrive
for
in
this.
transition, yeah, and when I arrive in transition, it's just tack, 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 tack. And I mean, again, it's getting used to it. I mean, if you've never done a triathlon, just do it at home. I mean, it's easy to do. And yeah, just getting used to everything. It's like getting used to running off the bike. I mean, yeah, the first time
Yeah,
it's horrible,
but
but then
then
you
you
do it a
get
couple
used to
of times,
it.
and
Yeah,
then your muscles are perfect. I mean, I cannot remember the last time I came off the bike and I had a problem running. I mean, it doesn't happen anymore. Like it's
yeah,
because you get used to it. So, and there are a lot of, I think that's why people jump into triathlon really fast now. I think it's directly, oh, I want to do an Ironman, and that's fine. I mean, if you want to do it, it's fine, but like try to get used to the things before you do the Ironman,
yeah.
because otherwise it's like 100 things coming onto you that you're not used to it, and it's just
Yes.
not going to be nice. I mean, it's not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah. It is true. I wanted to ask you the last couple of questions because I don't want to detain you.
Don't worry, I enjoy this.
You have been so kind with your time, really. But I've noticed that your sponsors are Stolen Goat and Hoka. for the longest time, actually. And I saw you are working also for Hoka. So I was really curious to know how all of this happened. And I read that you were never interested in going pro with your triathlon career. And I was wondering if I can ask this, why? And also if you have ever been told why you are not going pro with such a beautiful career and with being able to actually go into world championships both for the 70.3 but also for the full Ironman so many times. And for me, you are already like a pro athlete, to be honest. In my eyes, you already are at the level. But I think it must be also kind of a normal question, seeing your career so far.
Yeah, so first for my sponsors. So they've been with me since the first time I did Kona. So
Oh,
will be 7 and 8 years. So
wow.
a long time.
Yeah.
So with Hoka, I started as an ambassador. But then they changed the program and we were still ambassadors. But every year we would do 2 or 3 events. So it could be a marathon expo, it could be an Ironman expo, things like that,
Uh-huh.
which we are also getting paid for. And actually, it's really nice because yeah, we're kind of like a family. We're like I think 30 or 40 event staff, and so we see each
That's
other one,
nice.
two, 3 times a year. We're all
Uh-huh.
into sports. It can be trail, triathlon, running. It's everything actually. So I mean, we also see each other outside of the events. So I think
Nice.
I'm, yeah, it's really nice. It's like a second family,
Uh-huh.
and I think that's also a bit my community then, my sport community.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. My boyfriend is also now in the team, so yeah, it's really cool to do all of this together.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, I've been running with them for so long. I couldn't change. I mean, I really
Yeah, I
love the
bet.
shoes and I love the team, so it's
Yeah,
really nice. So it's not like really working for them, but it's just 2 3 times a year I do an event,
that's
and
nice.
yeah, it's also nice to talk to people on the events, on the difference between the marathons, the triathlon, and the
Yeah,
trail. It's all very nice. Yeah.
cool.
And Stolen Goat, actually. So I was searching for a sponsor for my first Kona. Yeah, I tried a lot of tri suits, but wasn't really happy about it. And
Mhm.
then my dad said, "Oh yeah, BioRacer has really good ones." And then we actually found that Stolen Goat was using them, the BioRacer suits. So so it's a company based in the UK. I just
Yeah.
emailed them, and they were super happy to give us both actually a tri
Oh,
suit. So we had
wow.
matching tri suits at the World Champ, which
Yeah,
was
I
very
saw
nice.
that, the photos. They were so nice.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. And yeah, I've been with them since the beginning,
Wow.
and they've keep sponsoring me. And so this year was very cool because I did some prototyping testing, and
Hmm.
then for the race in Kona, they made me a tri suit just for me.
It was
Uh,
beautiful, by
so
the way.
yeah,
Very,
that was
very
really
cool.
cool. Really, really
Mm-mm.
cool. You had on my arm, you had like all the years, the 5 years I did Kona, and yeah, some personal
Wow.
things on it. And I think they're amazing. And I love working with them, helping them with
Yeah,
prototyping. They're a really cool company. They also do like all of the personalized things. So you can ask for a full kit, fully personalized, and
that's
also
nice.
they do a lot for teams and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, love working with them. It's really nice.
That's nice. That's
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
And then yeah, going pro. I, like if I'm honest, I'm just not good enough for it, and I know it, and it's fine. Like I've thought about it, yes, but I mean, if you look at like the T100 final yesterday. I mean, I'm sorry, but these people are just like
Yeah, they
in
are
another
fast.
world. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
also they've all been doing sports since they're like competitively since they're 10, and I just know I don't have the heart for it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. I mean, I think I have some talent definitely, but
Yeah,
it's just not at
you have.
that. But it's just not at that level, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine. I also think it wouldn't be like a life for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have different things in my life, so when one doesn't go that well, I still have the other of the others. I'm also somebody that's interested in a lot of things, so I do a lot of different things. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I give up now, it's fine, but I couldn't give up like everything. So I
Yeah,
think being a pro is really, really tough job to do. It's
it
also,
is.
I mean, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's like every day of the year. And I think you can definitely have very nice things being a pro, but if I'm honest, like I think it's a nicer life to not be a pro. But yeah, that's my opinion, and I know not everyone has that opinion. But if you you hear from some pros, I mean, it's not an easy life, and yeah, you have like what 1% that actually make their dream come true, and the
Yeah,
other not. And then is it worth all the sacrifices? Personally, yeah, I'm really happy with my life, and
yeah,
I wouldn't want it another way. So, and I also think it's just tough, you know. Like, I mean, I'm not feeling well, I just don't go for a run, you know. But
yeah,
they
yeah.
cannot. They have to go for
No,
a run,
no.
and I mean, if I have to sit behind my desk when I don't feel well, let's say mentally, for example, fine. I mean, it's doable, right? And if I don't work that much today, I work a bit more tomorrow. But for them, it's not like that. So yeah, I
No.
think it's a really hard life.
Yeah, you have to be on top of your shape and your speed, your everything, your health, all days of the year. It's not just
Yeah.
oh, I will take these days off, as you said, or just let's go on a holiday on a whim and just have a break for a month if I feel so. No, you have to constantly be on top of your shape.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really hard thing because I think from the outside it's very easy to say, oh, you have done so many races, you have done so many championships. Why you are not just going pro? Like it's something easy. It's but at training for these events, it's already hard. Training for these events for that level, it's totally another thing. And also, as you said, not everyone wants to go pro. I mean, it's totally fair that you also have other things in your mind and you want to explore outside of the Ironman or triathlon in general. So yeah, yeah, it is true. From an outsider perspective, maybe it makes sense the contrary, but it's not true.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I like triathlon is my passion. Um, I don't know if I want to, if it still would be my passion if it was my work, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, I love my job, but there are days that I hate my job. Huh? I mean, I think
It's
everyone
normal.
has it, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if like if it's your only passion and you make your job out of it, will it still be your passion? I don't know. I guess it will, but I don't want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
also risk it. Not that I could do it, but I just like it as it
Yeah,
is. Like
yeah.
so, yeah.
Are you thinking now you said that in the future you are probably going to slow down a bit with your race calendar, but have you ever thought about doing like some extreme long distance triathlons Not saying like the Arctic ones where you're basically freezing from from start to finish on the ice, but maybe some other like extreme lengths or in a demanding environments.
Yeah, I think demanding environments more than longer.
Mhm.
Uh, I think my body is fine with doing like 9 hours 30 to 12-hour races, but I don't know if I want to push it to more. Like if you do
Mhm.
a double Ironman or a triple Ironman, I think it's
Yeah.
very tough on your body.
I mean, just naming like triple Ironman, but even just a double Ironman, it's like,
No,
what?
that's just crazy. No, I mean, I d- I'm not interested in that. But
Mhm.
I've always wanted to do the Norseman,
Mhm.
so this one I will definitely do one day. I love
Okay.
climbing, so
Oh,
climbing with the
really?
bike, I love it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I really like it. So I guess that would be in the books someday. And I also
Yeah.
think, like I said earlier, like I need a new challenge. And again, this one would be I need to finish, because it's so
Yes.
hard. So
Yeah.
I think that would be a nice one to transition. Okay, it's not less training, but yeah, it's already something else.
No, I get it. I think what something that I like. I mean, I do not have this huge experience as you do with triathlon, but one thing that I like about it, as you said, as the mental challenge that you are putting yourself into, and it's nice because you are testing yourself and seeing like, oh, also, do I have the mental clarity to stay like in the zone for this amount of hours? But it is also nice when you are kind of feeling not so well during a race. You maybe spot, yeah, like your family, your friends, your boyfriend, and they are cheering on you, and you are like, oh yeah, yeah. I need to finish this. It is also nice, this kind of a roller coaster feeling that you have during races, and it's something special, pro or not. It's a kind of fire that you have within you, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like all the pros I've talked to, they're all like, you're gonna feel not great at one point. Just embrace it. It's gonna pass. Just embrace it and it's gonna be fine. And yeah, I think you only have that in like long distance races, right? I
Yeah,
mean, if your race is short, maybe it will happen, but it will be very short. But for us, yeah, it could be a whole hour that you're not feeling great or even more. So, I mean, yeah,
that is
challenge
true.
again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I would have like a million of other questions, but I would be happy to get to do this also, like a follow up another time. But really, thank you so much, because this is my first time delving into sport with with an athlete. So on my side, it was very exciting, and you're a very inspiring person, not just as an athlete because of your story, but also as a person that it's approaching this sport, and also the mental aspect of it, but the mental aspects in life in general with such a maturity and without showing off. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad you had the time to talk with me.
Yeah, thanks you so much. Thank you for your nice words. It's really nice to hear. And I really had a good time. I really didn't see the time passing
Yeah,
actually.
sorry.
So it was very cool. No problem. I have time. But no, it was a really, really nice conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, hopefully, for being with me, and I hope to chat again.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Hope to see you soon. Bye.